Hello and welcome to Las Blancas Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Las Blancas. We are back with the new episode discussing Real Madrid's game against Tenerife. And always a very annoying game, and it ended in the most annoying fashion. It's one of the most difficult places to travel in Liga F, I must say, and it has never been easy for us going there. If we just look at the previous encounters as well, we had in 2019 we had a 1-1 draw against them. In 2020 they won 2-1. In 2021 again a 1-1 draw. Then in 2022-23 season a 2-3 win for us, which was again very close. Then in 2023, we had another win, a 2-1 win. And then last season was the first time where we won actually by multiple goals, where we won by 4-1. And this season it's 0-0 again. So it's a very difficult place to travel to. Earlier it used to be because of the pitch condition, but over the years I think Tenerife have become a really solid side, and that was very apparent in this game. We'll talk about it, we'll break down the numbers, we'll talk about individual performances as well. And to do all of that, as always, we have got Kanita. Kanita had her birthday recently, so happy belated birthday, Kanita. And yeah, how you doing and what did you make of that game?
Thank you. First off. And yeah, this is the most annoying result possible. Nil-nil goalless game. And I think the most interesting part of this game was the VAR reviews. It was so funny, none of them being useful. I just kept laughing at them. Like I had such a bad day on that day, on the day of the game. And the only funny thing I had a whole day were just those VAR revisions. The entire game was it's the VAR really kept me going. So yeah, I mean, kudos to both the coaches for making me laugh.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the game being bad, and I mentioned as well that we weren't that great. If you look at the numbers, we were outshot by Tenerife in that game. We had I think one shot in the entire first half,
Yeah.
and then we managed six more in the second half. And if you look at our shot map as well, and we can probably put it up from sofa score here for you guys. But if you look at our shot map, we have one shot that goes that is from a very close range. The rest are all in front of the block. You can see how well Tenerife put their back five block there to for us to for us to be troubled, and it really caused us a lot of problems. And from out of those six shots, one of them was a penalty, and that was one of our three shots on target that we had in the entire game. In comparison, if you look at Tenerife's numbers, they had 12 shot, they had created two big chances as well, and they forced like four saves off of Merle Froms. So it was a it was a pretty poor performance. And let's, I think, start by looking at the lineup, because I think that is where maybe, I don't know, maybe Quesada doesn't know that this is a very tricky away fixture, and dropping points here is winning all 3 points here is considered a big thing. And we should, given the way we have started this season, we absolutely needed those 3 points. So let's go through the lineup and see what changes he made in this game. Again, Merle From started in goal with Antonia Silva starting as the right back. Maria Mendes was partnered by Bella Anderson immediately after we discussed what her future would be and when she would get minutes, apparently in Tenerife. Yasmin started as the left back now. and the midfield three of Angeldal, Caroline Weir, and Sara Däbritz, with a front three of Linda Caicedo, Senior Brune, and Eva Navarro. So a slightly rotated lineup. You see a lot of changes in defense. But what did you make of the lineup, Kanita, when you first saw it, knowing it's a away fixture, knowing it's a tricky venue to visit? What did you make of the changes?
So yeah, I mean, I fully expected Seal to start on center back, because I don't know, that's something we're doing with the poor kid. But yeah, Bella started, and honestly, I wasn't, I was. Yeah, she had a decent game, but I didn't really understand Yes Mim on the left back. Maybe he just wanted to change both um fullbacks for some reason. I mean, Shay obviously couldn't play, so yeah, like, the other fullback had to go, I guess. Maybe that was the thought process behind it. But yeah, aside from that, nothing really weird. I think the attack is solid. I mean, very good. This is a very like entertaining attack. It's just that kind of the ball didn't reach Brun at all. Like our striker didn't manage to get the ball in this game through the build-up issues and all that. So yeah, I expected it fully. I expected this midfield. So yeah, all in all, aside from the colorful defense, uh, pretty good lineup.
Yeah, like you mentioned, some of those changes were forced because Shayla wasn't available after that red card in the last game, and apparently Lakrar also had some issues, so she wasn't available either. So Bella Anderson, good to see her get some meaningful minutes here, but again, like I don't know, I probably wouldn't have picked Rocio. So hands are tied on those two positions maybe. But maybe would have started Sara again, but I don't understand the left back situation either. So uh, the rest of the players from midfield to attack, very attacking lineup. You have got Angeldal, Däbritz, and Caroline Weir. We spoke about them, how all three of them are quite dynamic, and we get that instant two very offensive minded number eights operating in between the lines from the half spaces when we play Däbritz and Caroline Weir together. But I think what he failed to factor in was Tenerife's back five and the Tenerife block of like 5-3-2 shape that they play, which is very annoying. They've got two ball winners in the midfield as well, in Natalia Ramos and Paula Hernandez. Both really, really solid, cover a lot of ground, do a lot of dirty work as well. And their block is quite solid. If their fullbacks are high up and wide, like slightly wider, the midfield three really cover those and plug those spaces as well. So it was very difficult to sort of create any sort of momentum. You mentioned Brune not getting a lot of touches because the ball wasn't able to reach her, because it was because of the block that Tenerife had. It was almost impossible to play through it. uh, and that was the result. I mean, the first half we had just one shot. It was clearly a sign of like it's not working. We are not able to sort of create any meaningful chances from this, and it did not improve in the second half either. Yes, we had six shots, but none of them were really that threatening. I think with the way the game was going on, I was hoping, and the only thing that could help us was a penalty. And surprise, surprise, we do get a penalty in the second half after Caroline Weir was substituted. So she wasn't there to take the penalty. And I like this hierarchy. It's always good to see how things are. So Sarah Däbritz stepped up. So I'm guessing in absence of Caroline Weir, Däbritz is the next penalty kick taker. Uh, Däbritz stepped up, had her penalty saved, And then there was a whole review thing going on about encroachment or something, and I'm not even sure what was going on. Kanita, what was all that about? That was honestly, like, that also wasn't really a great penalty, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, share your thoughts on that whole penalty fiasco. And then there immediately after that there was another penalty call on the opposite end, which was reviewed and then corrected and everything. Like, what was all that about?
Yes. So the foul was on Feller, and then the penalty was given. Then Tenerife coach challenged it, and they were looking at it for 3 minutes. They even looked like 3 times if there was any offside. It was so funny. Like there was clearly all onside. But it's so funny how they kept replaying that, and they just kept replaying in the various. So it was a clear penalty, honestly. And then the Brits took it. Uh, Again, not Mm, I'm not. I don't understand this penalty taker situation. Like, I don't know. But okay, fine. She took it, and then it was saved, and Pesada 2 minutes after the penalty was done, like everyone forgot about the penalty already. That guy went to challenge for to see if the goalkeeper was on the line. I'm guessing, yeah, that's what they were reviewing. So everyone pulled out from the penalty already. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm giving the card. I want to challenge this play." I'm like, "Oh my god!" She was so clearly on the line as well. And yeah, as you said, like, a few minutes later, it was a penalty call by actually the Brits. It was a very clean tackle there by the Brits. She got the ball easily, and luckily that was only looked at for like a minute and a half. So you know, great success from the from the first three challenges, because there was also a challenge for the red card in the first half. So yeah, these are some really funny things going around. It was a weak penalty, yeah, I agree. And the goalkeeper actually took hold of it. There was no space for a rebound, so yeah, kudos to her. And she got the MVP of the match, probably for that
Yeah.
penalty save. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Noelia Ramos always
Yeah.
causes us trouble, to be fair. So
Mm,
not surprised there. But uh, honestly, like, our challenges for these Vieira decisions have been hilarious. We challenged that red card as well, which was a clear as day red card in the previous one for Shea. I mean, I get it. You don't get to carry them forward, so you have to use it. But yeah, I mean, it's just funny to watch how poor our reviews are for that. But yeah, I mean, and after that, after Feller was creating some threat after she came on, but overall it was a very muted attacking performance. Weir did not create much magic. I think Weir is still struggling to uh, get that identity or get that space for her that she had. Like, she was the talisman in this team. She was the leader, and now suddenly that hierarchy has changed instantly, and I think she's having an adaptation period once again. uh, Apart from that, I don't think any of the attackers were really impressive. Like, our strategy to go to Linda Caicedo and just hope that she does something, it was difficult for her to do because of the way Tenerife are organized. And in general as well, if you go back and listen to our pods like a couple of seasons back as well, you will find us complaining about our inefficiency against a back five, and I think that has persisted. It's always difficult to create against a line of five, but it's especially difficult when you don't have the optimal occupation of zones there. This sometimes, Toril used to do this thing, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Toril used to do this thing when we came up against back fives at times, and when there were desperate times that he would switch to a back three. and push 5 bodies forward. So you had a player each in every space, right from the wings to the half spaces to the center. So you had a body. So that would give a better line occupation, and then create that numerical balance and help us create some sort of chances. I think I would have liked to see that, but I don't know. Like maybe I'm just expecting too much at this point. And honestly, this means our bad start to the season continues, to be fair. If you look at the points table, we are from 5 games so far, we have 8 points. We are behind Tenerife in fifth at the moment. I am sure that we will probably overtake them, but there's already a 5 point gap with Atleti. There's already a 7 points gap with Barcelona. There's a 5 point gap with Real Sociedad as well, who this season have been doing quite well under Arturo Ruiz so far. There are all four sides above us are unbeaten so far. They have zero. Barcelona obviously 5 out of 5 wins, but even Atleti, Real Sociedad, and Tenerife are teams who haven't been beaten so far in this season. I'm sure we will improve. I'm sure like we'll collect a lot of points. But at the moment, it doesn't look great. 5 games, 8 points, 9 goals scored, 5 conceded. Doesn't look that great. There's not one area where you can say, okay, we might be struggling, but this is an area that has shown real promise. There isn't one. Defensively, we lack structure. Offensively, the scheme isn't great. The whole 4-1-4-1 approach in pressing, our press has gone down. We aren't pressing as intensely like we used to in the 4-4-2. We are more of a mid block side now, which is very, I don't know, it's slightly frustrating watching it. What do you make of it, Kanita? And I'll just add that next game we might win big, and then again it will be like, okay, underlying issues, there are no underlying issues. So what do you make of the season so far after 5 games?
Honestly, with the way that we've been playing, we don't really deserve any better in terms of points here. I mean, this game was absolutely horrendous. Nil-nil draw was, just explains it very well. And the other games as well. I mean, I don't know, like it's not a promising start. That's an understatement, right? We honestly started this season with doubting whether we would even be in the Champions League, but here we are. We were honestly easier qualified than we expected. So yeah, there were an interesting bumpy start to the season. I Probably the title race is probably over. You know, uh, probably in the very first match day against Logroño when we drew against them, for some reason. But yeah, I we did change the manager, and the play style had to be learned all over again, and there were some new signings, and of course captaincy shift, and all of that comes into play. And yeah, it's a complicated thing, and these points will definitely hurt us in the end of the season. Somehow they will come to haunt us. I just know that they might be some what ifs once again. What if we hadn't drawn against Logroño? But yeah, honestly, horrendous start. And yeah, there was a worse one. There was a worse one,
Yeah.
definitely. It would have been much worse, like in the 2021-22 season. But yeah, I mean, with the way how far this team has come, this is also unacceptable right now at this stage. I'd say I'm very pissed at Quesada. I think he broke the record of coach pissing me off let's say the short and the like, well, not going without pissing me off the shortest time. Yeah, let's say that way. So yeah, definitely he like pissed me off in the first 30 seconds of the season maybe. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, horrendous performance. If you look at it number wise, if you watch that game, like that game was so difficult to focus on anything because
Yeah.
there wasn't much happening at all. Like, it was such a bad performance from us. Like, I have to give credit to Tenerife. Like, they have definitely improved. Like, they always punch above their weights. They have a very, very solid defensive foundation. It's very difficult to break that line of eight, like that back five and the midfield three. It's very difficult. It's very compact. I get all of that, and as a result of that, you can see it in our numbers. Like just one shot in the first half, like we mentioned, just three shots on target in the entire game, getting outshot by Tenerife. Even when we had one penalty, had just one successful cross as well out of 16. So it was, even if we were trying to put the ball in the box, they had like four bodies in the middle of the box trying to defend it, and it was very difficult. And as a result, we could not score, and it's a win for Tenerife. Like they were pretty happy with taking away that 1 point, because that is how they are conditioned to play. They don't want you to score, and then if they get an opportunity, they'll try to capitalize on it. And unfortunately, like we had Merle Froms, who once again pulled off some good saves, because without her we are definitely losing this game, and that would make it like two losses in the first five games and a draw, which is not ideal at all. Now next game we face Barcelona, who aren't that good, and maybe we will end up with a big win, and then it would be like, oh, we are doing well. But that's not the case. We aren't playing it that well. It is difficult to say that we still have a best 11 of sorts. Last season we had the same issue where Toril was rotating at least one defender in the back line. In all games we hadn't started a back line, a similar back line for like 11-12 games. Now we always had like 3-4 changes in the lineup until a point. And even though we were picking up results, it wasn't really uh, a healthy sort of practice, and we paid the price of that later on. And I think here, right from the beginning, under Quesada, not understanding his squad immediately. And it's not like there aren't other teams where there is a new manager, right? Like uh, uh you look at Bayern, they have a new manager, and if you look at their style of play, it's instinctively, like instantly you can make out that this is much different from what they did under Alexander Strauss. Like there are clear ideas there are clear principles. uh they are using their squad much better. They have an understanding of what sort of profiles go into the midfield. They have an understanding of what they need from their players. But here it all seems like, okay, we are putting these players on. We will not press that high, and we will try to use one of our star players like Linda Caicedo to just create something. And more often than not, in 80% of the games, Linda Caicedo might pull off something. That is just how good she is, but that is not a sign of a good team. And I think at this point we need to be better as a unit. We need to be a unit. First of all, we need to have a clear idea of what we are trying to do. So yeah, it's a big challenge. We knew when we saw the signings that it's going to be a big adaptation period, because uh, you don't know which player you want to sit out, because Toletti can play, Angel can play, Däbritz can play, Weir can play. Like, there are a list of players who would start almost everywhere. So it's a tough call, and I think as a manager you have to pick the best player for your style of play. And at this point, I'm not even sure what Quesada's style of play is. So hopefully we figure that out pretty soon, because it's gonna be serious now. After Barcelona, we have the Champions League, where we
Mm.
face Roma. So it's about to get serious, and it's every game will be trickier than the one before. So hopefully we take the learnings, hopefully we adapt, and hopefully we see a better performance against Barcelona. Even if it's against Barcelona, I want to see some cohesiveness in the side, and some style of play, I guess. So yeah, we will be back for the next one against Barcelona, like I said, and then begins the Champions League, which is always exciting. A lot of good games in that coming up as well. There's going to be Bayern versus Barcelona. There's going to be Arsenal versus Lyon. And Real Madrid will obviously face AS Roma. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and we will be covering all of that for you. We'll try to bring you the best content to the best of our abilities. And yeah, thank you for listening to us. The channel has seen some really good support in recent times. The subscriber count has gone up. We love that. It keeps us motivated to even just see the subscriber count go up by one. It's a nice feeling that our work is being appreciated. And yeah, please keep doing that. Please keep sharing. Please keep writing down in comments what you would like. We all read it. We discuss it on the personal. And yeah, so thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel. Let's keep doing that, and hopefully this season is a successful one. Like we always say, doesn't look like it right now, but hope dies last, I guess. So yeah, we will be back for the next one against Barcelona. Until that, Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.